All right, guys, welcome to CSC 102. My name's Greg Betts. I'm the instructor for this section. It really just depends on the semester and what section you're signed up for, but you got me this semester, so congratulations. I'm so excited. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys like an introduction before we really dive into this class. All right, so we are using mostly one learning management this semester, and that is going to be Pearson My IT Lab. I guess let me go ahead and transition to, there we go. So on D2L, all right, I do have a link down there for you, but we'll be mostly using Pearson My Lab, all right? And that screen is, no, that screen is backwards for you guys. All right, so let me go ahead and just open up my IT Lab so you guys can just get a feeling for it, all right? It is a few clicks to get there, all right? But the easiest way, in my opinion, is to access it right off D2L, and I'll go through that a little bit more in a minute, how to get there and where links are and things like that. But anyway, so this is my IT Lab, all right? And this is where everything that we're going to be doing this semester is going to be taking place, all right? So you will complete all of your assignments and everything on this. You're not going to really do much in D2L. I will post announcements each week in D2L. I should have a link to, again, take you to here, and I'll hit that up in a moment. But everything we're going to do for grades and all the assignments and things currently this semester, they're all in here. All right, so that may make your lives easier, may make your lives harder. It really depends, but this is how the class works. So this is what we're using. All right. So when you get logged in, you won't be seeing everything that I see. If you notice, I have all these little eyes with little lines through them. All right, so that is something that you guys won't be able to see. But anything that doesn't have that, this will look just like your student view does. All right. So when we get logged in, to me, the easiest place for you guys to go to get started is going to be the assignment calendar right here. All right, that will tell you where things are, or not where things are, what things are due each week. All right, so if we go ahead and click on that once, and it may take it a minute to load. This is just my IT Lab for you. It takes time to load, even though you might have an absolutely amazing internet connection. This just takes a little bit of time. All right. So anyway, we can see on here that we have on the current month of August, and it just looks like a normal calendar. All right. Now that is probably a little bit misleading, so I'm just going to the next month because your first item is not due in the month of August; it's due in the month of September. So now we can actually start seeing things that are due. So if you notice, there's little clocks here, and that's telling you that hey, there is stuff due on this day of the week. All right. You notice for my class, everything is due on Sundays. All right. Yeah, depending on your teacher, if you're doing a different class, you may have different due dates, but for me, everything is due on Sundays. All right. And then once you click on that day of the week, so right now we're on the 1st. All right. And again, you can tell that by right up here at the top. It tells you what day of the week that you've got selected. It shows you everything that I have put on the calendar, all right, for this day. All right. And then just notice there's also a little scroll bar going on over here on the side, so we can scroll down. So I put a lot of things on the due date, or on this date for being due. All right. That doesn't mean every one of these things is an assignment, so you can take a deep breath there. All right. But a lot of these things are related to the assignments, things that you're going to need. All right. Not necessarily just I want you to read. You're probably going to need them. All right. So if we take a look at, we'll start at the top here. So we have the first two assignments we have this semester are the file management assignment and the OneDrive assignment. So you see there's 3 links for the OneDrive and there's 4 links for the file management. All right. So we have the file management instructions. So if we click on that, it will download a Word document. Go ahead and open that one up. Lovely. Anyway, so you can see that we want you to put your name at the very top, what section you're in, and then you can go through and start filling these questions in. All right, so you can just go ahead and start answering all the questions. We got some pictures that I want you guys to, do something and then take a screenshot and insert it in here. All right. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but right now we're talking about assignments. So there's the instructions. Here's a rubric for that assignment. All right. This is where you would upload it. Now, uploading assignments is a little bit finicky here. This is a weird thing to make. Normally you're like, okay, let me choose my file, and I'm just going to choose the blank file I just downloaded. All right, and you're like, okay, let me submit for grading. And if you actually read this really carefully, it says, you did not answer all the questions. All right, submit your work for grading, click finish. So it says, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. That's because I never hit the add button right here. All right. Yes, I did select the file right there, but I never actually added it to be part of the assignment. So if I hit add, you'll notice that this Lincoln, that is going to pop up. There we go. Now it's over here on the actual list. All right. So if you don't hit that add button, when you submit this, there's not going to be a file uploaded, and there's nothing going to be there for me to grade. So it's very important that you make sure that you click that add button. All right. This will happen, I don't know, probably like 16 times a semester that you're going to have to make sure you hit that add button. So just be aware that that is there. So now when I hit submit for grading, it says you've completed the activity. All right. So it doesn't say that I haven't submitted something. It says I'm done. All right. So I can go ahead and hit the finish button, and it will upload my file. Tells me that it's in pending instructor review for this one. All right. Most of the assignments this semester are auto grading, so probably within 30 seconds of you uploading something, you will get in a score on that assignment. For I think 8 of them this semester, I have to grade them manually. So just be aware that when it says pending instructor review here, that means that I do have to actually go manually go grade those things. All right. I'll come back to how do you know which ones those are in a few minutes. And then down here, I have a nice little video. It's actually the link to the video that I created. Yeah, good ad. Anyway, this is a video that I created, I guess at this point 3 years ago, talking about the file management assignment. So that video is there for you to be linked to, so you guys can go watch it. Then same thing down here, we've got OneDrive instructions, we've got a OneDrive rubric, and then we've got the OneDrive assignment grade. Right, so make sure you get these things uploaded to the right location. Any questions so far? I'll take that as a no. I am trying to keep my eye on the comment section, so if you got questions, go ahead and put them there. So anyway, to me, the assignment calendar, that's going to be a great first starting point. Now, if you're like, okay, yeah, but now where's the textbook, or where's all the actual materials? Well, down here we have a course materials section, so we can go ahead and click on that, and that will again load up. It's going to take a few minutes. And we've got this broken down into 3 sections: course information, go all in one, and then additional assignments. So in the additional assignment section, this is all the things that I have to manually grade. All right, so if there's something that's in here, I need to manually grade it. I'm not going to probably grade them until after the due date, because I like just to grade everything at once. So I do try to wait for you guys to all submit everything before I go in and grade things. If it's in the go all in one section, all right, everything in here is auto grading. So you can see that we've got chapter 1 through 4, then we've got a research exam, chapter 5 through 8, and an exam, and then 11 through 18. All right. Now, chapters 1 through 4 and 4 through 8 are what I'm going to call like traditional textbook work. All right. It's a chapter you read. All right. And under student resources, where's the textbook link is. I'll click that and get it loaded. We'll come back to that one. All right. There are some videos and PowerPoints in here, so if you want to go look through those, you're welcome to. But if we go to the assignments, went back one too far, there should be 2 assignments for every chapter 1 through 8. You have a little 10-question quiz. I think they're all 10 questions. It might be a few more or less. And then you have a little simulation. Now, depending on the chapter, the simulation changes. All right. So here you can see the simulation. So there's a start button, and it's going to ask you some questions, and it's going to say, well, just click at this one. Select the best suited computer for the job description above, then select your reason supporting your choice from the reasons column. All right. So you would read a corporate accountants. So no travel required. That gets rid of laptops, financial information. Okay. Massive amounts of data. That means we need a more powerful computer. Presenting mind, nothing super crazy. It needs to run Windows though. So we would say find a Windows desktop, PC desktop. That would probably be the proper answer. And then it says why. Processing data and reasons, and then probably that one. All right, and then you'd say click, and you go say, hey, you got them right, good job. All right, and if you did get something wrong, it will tell you why. Now, all these little simulations, all right, you're going to go through, you're going to do all of them, and I can just randomly pick, and we can show you what happens when you get things right, wrong. Oh, look, I didn't click the right ones there. Oh, I did get a tablet, let me read it, got lucky. All right, now it lets me try again, so I can say, okay, I know it's that one, and we'll go, it needs a portable system. There we go, we got it right. Now, at the very end of all this, there's going to be a little quiz again, all right? That is the portion that is actually graded. It's not all of these little subsections right now where it's like, okay, we have the Mac desktop, and these 2 again. Ooh, not the best option, so I didn't pick anything right. But anyway, so at the very end, there's going to be a little graded section. That's going to be the part that is actually the grade for the simulation. So even though I've completed some of this right now, if I actually finish it, I will have a 0 for it. So your score was a 0. So just kind of something to be aware with the simulations. The quizzes, they're just standard looking quizzes as far as I'm concerned. We'll open that up. So here you can see we got 10 questions. You can pick the question on the right or you can do the next question. Read the question, answer it, just next. Just go through. All right, nothing too crazy there with the quizzes. So that's where your course materials are. All right, and then the last important one is obviously going to be your grades, right? You all care about your grades. So anyway, so here we can see the grades for my little simulated student account. Kendra, we'll get to your answer in a moment. But anyway, so you can see everywhere there's a little dash, that means the assignment is not past due or has not been completed yet. And then where I have 0s for these because I didn't do very good because I didn't get things right. All right. I probably, and look down here, I have a pending because the instructor hasn't graded that assignment yet. So a lot of good information going on here in the grades. So you can come in here and check these as you like. Now, the one interesting thing here to me is we have two rows at the top, final course percent and total percent to date. Final course percent, this assumes that you have a 0 on every assignment. All right, so if you notice, I've got a 0 right now. Right? Where the total percent to date, let me go take a step back. Final course percent. This assumes you have a 0 on all non-submitted or non-graded items. All right, so if you've submitted something and you've got a grade, obviously that's going to count. But it just says like, okay, you haven't completed, chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, yada, yada, yada. Those are all 0s. Final course percent. Total percent to date, that only includes things that are past due or already have been graded. All right. So definitely a nice column to have. This is more your like how you're doing throughout the course. It gives you a pretty accurate reading how you're doing as the class goes on. But the final course percent, that is a really reliable one, especially as you get closer to the end of the semester. You're like, oh, I've got a 75 right now. And you're like, well, I've got 4 assignments left. And it's like, okay, if I get all those done, I can get up to an 88 or something along those lines. So that's a really handy little column or row to have. We'll actually talk a little bit more about this in the Excel document, one of the Excel assignments that you guys are going to do later semester with calculating your grade. So that is your grades. Any specific questions on my IT lab? Just kind of general use. So again, assignment calendar, super handy. That's where I would go. I've had students that often use the to-do completed section, and I always find that gives them more problems than it's worth. Right? So I would suggest just going to the assignment calendar, clicking over to the month, wherever it is that you need to be, and go from there. All right, that would be my suggestion for you. Are the quizzes and simulations timed? I do not believe they are timed, and you should have multiple chances on those. I think it might be 2, but I haven't looked in the this course shell yet. So you should have at least 2 attempts, I believe, on everything that are not the the non-go-in ones, the ones that I have to manually grade, the additional assignments. You should have, I think, 2 chances for at least everything on the go-all-in-one stuff, but not the additional. The tests are timed. All right, you have, I believe it's 75 minutes to complete the tests on chapter 1 through 4 and then 5 through 8, but everything else is not timed as far as I know. So, all right, so that's just kind of a quick walkthrough. I'm still coming back to the how to log in. All right, now let's just go ahead and take a quick look at D2L. So on D2L, obviously, hopefully you're used to this. If you're not, congratulations. Welcome to HCC. So here is when we log into D2L. If we go back even one more step, you log into D2L, it's going to drop you here, all right? And then this shows all the courses that I'm teaching this semester. So here is the one for this class, CSC 102. So I will click on that. And then right off the bat, right here is your announcement section. As I said, every week you should see an announcement from me. Every once in a while, I do miss one. Brain fart happens, and I'm like Monday morning, I forget to post the announcement or whatever the case. Sorry if that happens. If you do notice that I haven't posted an announcement, you have questions, please email me. All right, email me is the best way to contact me for this semester. But anyway, so you can see the announcements, and obviously all of the 5 of you, you found the Zoom link, so congratulations, awesome. All right. And then if we scroll down a little bit, here are some other announcements. So here is my welcome announcement that hopefully you all read. All right. Um, Yep. And then, so here is how to get set up in CSC for the My IT Lab stuff. So I do have a video here. Now this video is 2 years old at this point, so it is a little outdated. It mentions needing a key. All right. You used to get emailed a key, like a serial number, or whatever, that you'd have to type in to get access to the class and have it be paid through inclusive access, yada yada yada. However, Pearson has gotten away from that now, so we don't have that anymore. So you don't need a key. Once it should automatically just jump you right through things. All right. So you don't need this. I can go do that now. Anyway, so please get registered on My IT Lab. Watch that video. That will help walk you through that. All right. And then down here at the bottom in every email, I do try to put the Pearson My Lab link just to make your guys' life easier, because I know you're coming to this class, your really main goal here on D2L is to get to Pearson. I'm trying to make it as few clicks as possible for you. So my suggestion, read the announcement for each week, go ahead and click on the link. That will pop you to another window. You have to click again. I know, very annoying. And it's going to pop you to another window that you have to click again. Yellow button at the top here. Now, I'm already set up for this. If you're not, when you click on this link, it should ask you to get logged in. All right. If you've used My IT Lab before, or Pearson's My Lab, not just My IT Lab, if you use their math stuff or their business stuff, or blah 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 blah, you may already have an account created. If so, great. You can just log in, and Bob's your uncle, and you're good to go. If you haven't, you do need to create an account. You can use whichever email address you prefer. I'd request that you use your HCC one just to make my life easier if I'm a little questionable of who you are, because some people, when they're filling these things out, they go by different nicknames or things like that, so they don't match up perfectly to my grade book. And when that happens, I have to contact you and go, hey, are you this person? Type of thing. So I request that you use your HCC email and your full first and last name. I can't force you to do that though, but if you don't use those things, I may be contacting you. Are you this person? Type of thing. So don't be too surprised. I know you're in my class, because that's the only way you can get into D2L. I just might not know which person specifically you are, depending on how you have things filled out. So please be careful about that. Now, if you click on this and you do have to create your account, it may error out on you. It may be like, oh, what's the course ID number? Things like that. I don't have a course ID number I can give you. Basically, you just took too long creating the account that the Chrome web browser or Firefox or Safari, whatever it is, forgot the account, the ID number that you were using. All right, all you have to do, you should just have to come back, exit out again, come back to this tab, hit open a new window again, click the button to get logged, to link things, and then log in, and you should be good to go. So if you do have that problem, it's just because it took too long to create your account. It's nothing you did wrong. It's just sometimes it takes a while to create your Pearson account when you're like, oh, I need this information. Oh, I need that information. That's happened to me. So I don't blame you if it happens to you. Did nothing wrong. All right. Now, the other thing I will say about Pearson is it can be a little finicky. You may, especially later in the semester when we're doing the simulations, or even actually all semester when we're doing the simulations, you may be clicking on something. You'd be like, hey, I'm going to click right here. I'm supposed to click on this button. And you're clicking on it, and you're clicking on it, and you're like, it's not doing anything. That could be your web browser. It could begin you doing nothing actually wrong. You may be clicking in the perfectly right spot, but it's like, hey, you didn't do that right. It's like, pretty sure this is where I'm supposed to click. All right. Yeah, at that point, I'd say you've got two main options. Option one is to take a screenshot and email me and say, hey, is this where I'm supposed to be clicking? And I can, now when you do that, please take a nice big screenshot so that way I can see what you're actually supposed to be doing. If you just take a little screenshot of just, this little section, and you don't tell me any information about what step you're on and what assignment you're doing, blah, 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 it's not very helpful to me. All right. So please, when you do this, make sure that you take a nice big screenshot. You're like, oh, here's the instructions at the top, and here's the picture that I'm trying to click on, and here's what the questions it's asking me. Try to get all of that in a nice picture for me, so that way it makes my life a little bit easier. All right. So that way I can help decode it. The other thing that you can try and do at that point is just use a different web browser. All right. I have found many times that Chrome will be working perfectly fine, and then one day I'm trying to do an assignment, and I'm clicking and I'm clicking. I'm like, I know this is the right place to click. And it's just like, nope, that's not it. And I just say, fine, Chrome, I'm going to use Firefox now. So I just open up Firefox that I have installed on my computer. I use that, and everything works perfectly fine. So It is your choice. I always suggest that you guys, from a technology standpoint, have multiple web browsers on your computer that you know how to use. Most likely, if you're using a PC, you've got Edge from Windows installed. All right, lovely Microsoft Edge. Let me pull that up. There we go. All right, most likely you've already got that one installed. Most people don't like Edge, or at least they didn't used to like Internet Explorer. I think Edge is actually based on Chrome now, so it's not that different. But just something to be aware of. So you have Edge, you have Safari on Macs, you've got Firefox, you've got Chrome, and there are a whole bunch of other options out there. I would suggest picking one of those and kind of going with it. So, all right. So yeah, my IT lab walkthrough, how to get registered, we kind of briefly hit. Again, there's that video you can watch. Web browsers we've talked about. Just a note, this class is designed and built around Windows. All right. So if you are a Mac user, all right, you will have you most likely will have problems throughout the semester. All right. When we were doing the simulations of Office, you are in a simulated Office environment, a Windows environment. So it uses the Windows version of Word. If you didn't know, the Windows version of Word and the Mac version of Word are different. Drives me absolutely batty. I don't know why they decided to make them different, but they did. So it's just something that you need to be aware of. So I highly suggest, if at all possible, completing these assignments on a Windows computer. All right. Now, if you have a Chromebook or a Mac PC, or even if you're trying to do this on like your iPad or something, you may run into a lot more problems. Now, there are two options for that. One is find a Windows computer to use. All right, it will make your life a lot easier. Your other option is right here. There is a link to the virtual computer lab. All right. A few years ago, we got IT to set it up so that way you guys can log in to a virtual computer from off campus. All right. So you're actually logging in to HCC, the server on HCC's campus, and allows you to access things. So here I've got the VMware Horizon client, so I can open up my advanced one. You don't need the advanced one for this class, you just need the basic one. And now this is gonna be mad at me, but that's fine. We're gonna give that, that takes a few minutes for that to get booted up. I will bring that over once it does. All right. But all you guys need to do, if you have a Mac or just want access to this for fun, is there's a nice little form here. You need to, I guess, open it in a new window. Here we go. And you just need to fill it out. So it asks what semester you are, what semester year. So, right now we are fall of 24. How many credits you're taking? It might be 3. You're in this class, you got at least 3. Your ID number, first name, last name, your HCC email, and then again, just check this basic box. That's all you need. And then you're going to say, yep, I understand that I have to do this every semester. And then you're going to do your lovely signature here. All right. And then you would hit the submit button, and then within a few days, you should get an email from IT with information on how to get things set up and stuff like that. So it is a very useful tool to have. I use it for this class. I use it for my PLC programming class, so students can access software remotely. So it's a very useful thing to have, especially if you don't have a Windows computer at home to complete the assignments on, because now you do. You just have to install a little bit of software on your Mac. And I mean, you can do this on a tablet, you can do this on an Android phone, an iPad, an Android tablet, Chromebooks. There's the client software for all of those. So a lot of options there. And as I told you, it takes a few minutes to do it. Here we go. Look, it's still thinking. All right. So we'll come back to that once it's finally all up and down. But anyway, Macs make things hard, is all it comes down to. I'm sorry if you're a Mac person. There's no great way for us to make this perfect for Mac and PC. It's just not out there. I don't understand why Windows is like, we're going to make different PC software and Office for PC and Mac look different. At this point in time, for technology, they shouldn't have a real need to do that, but they do. So anyway, so Mac users, and if you have any questions about using a Mac, please reach out to me and let me know. I also do have the 2022 playlist here of videos. These are ones that I created from an actual, I believe, in-person class, I believe it was. So here we've got a file management one. Here's one about talking about OneDrive, which we're going to talk some about today. Here's chapter 1, part 1, 2, yada, yada, yada. All right, so every chapter for 1 through 8 should be on there. All right, I do not have a whole lot on using Office. The textbook is really good for that, but we're probably going to talk about those in this new session. So I should be adding to these this semester. All right. So that little VM finally loaded up. So here you can see, I can just continue there. There we go. So here I've got my own little computer. So you can see I got a start bar going across right here. Oh, got too far. Downloaded too. Here is this. Go. Okay, I do this. There we go. So we've got a start bar there, right? That's the one that's in the virtual computer, and I've got my normal start bar all the way down here at the bottom still. All right, so there is two very distinct things going on here. All right, let's do this without data. Continue, and luckily you will have to do this every time. All right. If you notice right here in the nice big orange box, it says this computer does not save files permanently. So make sure you save things before you log off. All right. You have a few ways that you can save things from this. Way number one is you can email them to yourself. So, just open up a web browser and email them to yourself. That's a great option if you don't have any other option there. Option two is you could upload them to your OneDrive account. So again, log into your HCC email, use your OneDrive, upload them there. All right. Option three is you can actually get a thumb drive attached to this. All right. So if I click on USB devices right now, it's just showing all my cameras and things. All right. I'm going to plug a flash drive into my computer here. If I can figure out which way it goes in. That lovely problem with USB. All right. So I now have here's my USB disk. So I can just click that button. And now it should, when I go to my file manager, it should show up. I believe that would be USB drive E right here. So you can do it that way to a USB drive. The other option is you do have access to your local computer. I forget which one it is. I think it's this one. So yeah, this is my my user folder on the computer that I'm using. So from Windows, here's the downloads folder, right? So there's all my download files, and then let me go ahead and put this to my downloads. They're not in the same order, but come up here to view, and let's go group by date modified. There we go. So now you can see, look, they match. This one has a folder that you can see. But anyway, so you have a few options for how to get stuff off of this virtual machine. And again, it is a really useful tool for you guys to have to use when you need it. So I highly suggest that even if you don't think you're going to need it this semester, just submitting that form, and that way you at least will get the email, and that way if you ever do need it, you have access to it. So that would be my suggestion for you. And this is just saying, if you do get disconnected, you have 15 minutes to reconnect, and your stuff will still be there. So it doesn't instantly delete things, but it does pretty quickly. All right, we talked about the textbook. So when I clicked on that e-text link, sorry, we're going way back now, but here it is. All right, later. So here we can open our e-text. So we clicked on that e-text link on my IT lab under chapter 1. Every chapter has one, right? And then over here on the left, I don't know why it picked this point. I'm pretty sure I said give me chapter 1, but it jumped me to a weird spot. But we can go ahead and click table of contents over here on the left, and now we can say, yeah, we're in chapter 3. I want chapter 1. So we click on chapter 1, and here's everything going on for you. All right, and you got next button down here, so you can read it and click through. All right. All the answers for all the quizzes and everything are in this textbook. All right, everything is right out of the textbook. So now, again, for those additional assignments, not necessarily so, but everything for chapters 1 through 14, 15, whatever magic number it is that we go through, they're all in here. All right. And on that note, if we come down here, I told you that it was pretty good for how to use Office. So if we go to the creating documents with Microsoft Word, all right, and then we go to the Project 11A flyer, it will tell you basically how to do things. So yeah, on the ribbon tab, click the Insert tab, then the Text group, then the Object button arrow, and then the Text from Files. Like, it is walking you through step by step, and even down here, it's kind of showing you like the Object button arrows, like right there. So it does a very good job of walking you through these assignments. So when you have issues with the Office stuff later this semester, and again, I'll preempt you with that. Actually, it'll probably be next week. I'll probably preempt you with that, just so you know. It does a very good job, the textbook. So I highly suggest that you do actually open up the textbook and look through things and read things so you can take the quizzes really easy and whatnot. Again, my videos that I have here will also help you along the way, but the textbook is a great place for you to get lots of information. Someone asked, yes, there is online versions of this, or not online, in-person class versions of this class. I do not know specifically when they are right now. I think there's at least 2 sections. I don't know if they're full, and I also don't know if they would be willing to just let you come drop in for a class. I will happily ask them, and if you would prefer, you could also, if there are spots, you could transfer to that class instead of taking my online one. Some people love online, some people hate online. As a student, I'm probably with you guys. I really don't like online classes. I am much better in an in-person environment, unless it's something that I kind of half know already. So, but yes, if you want me to ask, I will happily ask them to see if any of them are willing to let you just periodically drop in for assignments. The only issue with that is we may not be linked up. We may not all be following the same schedule. Some of us do chapters 1 through 8 and then do 11 through 16, or again, whatever the magic number is. Some of the teachers do like 1 and 11 and then 2 and 13, and, you know, they stagger them back and forth. I think actually we're going to go to that route here of staggering them. Since I already do have really good videos, I think, on all the first 8 chapters, I'm probably not going to talk a lot about those in these Zoom sessions. I'll probably talk more about how to use Office in these Zoom sessions. But that is really up to what you guys want. So if you have any opinions on those, please let me know in the chat. So, anyway, so any major questions about like how this class is going to work, what material we're going to cover, where information is going to be located, those types of things. All right, seeing no other questions. All right, so the last thing that I want to do today on our first day here, all right, so hopefully by the end of this, although I think all of you are based on what I looked on the class list, is I want to talk about OneDrive, all right? File management, again, I think I've got a really good video on that. Even the OneDrive I do have a pretty good video on. But we'll go ahead and do the OneDrive assignment. The file management, maybe we'll hit that up a little bit. Let's start with OneDrive. So to access OneDrive, all right, what OneDrive is a cloud storage system, all right? And as someone once told me, and it's one of my favorite sayings, is cloud storage just means it's someone else's computer. And I just love that saying, all right? And they are 100% correct. It's just someone else's computer. All right, but to access that, so we're going to go ahead to your email. All right, so you're going to log into your HCC email. Now, if you don't know how to do that, if you go to hagerstowncc.edu, and then we do quick links at the top here, all right, under HCC portal, all right, it will then ask you to log in if you haven't already logged in, all right, and then I have an Outlook email button right here, all right, and it says permission required. So, but anyway, so that's one of the ways you can get there. And so you're logging into your HCC email. All right, you'll be in your inbox. I'm on my rosters because I don't know what's in my inbox. I don't want you guys seeing. So we're in my rosters where I don't really care if you just see the names of my rosters. But anyway, so in this top left-hand corner, we've got 9 little dots, little 3x3 array. We're going to click on that one, and then we have access to lots of apps. All right. So then that we care about right now is OneDrive. So we can go ahead and click on the little cloud. All right, and that will take us to OneDrive. Now, this is taking me to mine, and I actively use my OneDrive. All right, I have all of my course materials on there. I have everything on there that I can because it makes my life a lot easier. Really, what it comes down to. All right, so by default, it takes you to this home section. All right, I hate that. I'm like, I don't really want to go home. I want to go to my files, which is this little folder there right below it. All right, so I'm going to click on the folder, and then here you can see all the different folders and things that I have. All right, you can create a new folder by clicking this little plus button right here. All right. And then you have options for folder, file uploads. If you want to make a specific file of some sort, a link, all right, you can do that. So, so for this class, you will be making a new folder. So if you haven't used OneDrive before, so we'd do a new folder. We'd call it CSC 102. You can pick your color. All right, we'll go red. Why not? Go ahead and hit create, and look, there we go. Boom! I got a nice little red folder. It makes it a lot easier to find when it's red because So I don't normally change my folder colors because I also don't really make my folders and things on OneDrive app. I normally do them on my computer, but that's a whole different problem. So we'll go into the CSC folder. All right, and one of the things that the assignment wants you to do is to find your syllabus and your schedule. All right. Now I'm a little bit different. That I don't have my class information in the class information folder on Pearson. So you do need to go to D2L for that, and then up here you have a syllabus section, right? So there's the syllabus, and again, you'll have to be logged into your HCC email because I shared this as a OneDrive file. So there's my PDF, and then you also do have the schedule right there below it. All right, so you'll have to download those to your computer. You would log in, and I don't know where the download button is. Over here on the top left. They move things on me every once in a while, so up here, there's your download button. So we just say, all right, let's download that. Let's go ahead and download that. Boom, we got them both. All right. So we're in here now. So we want to upload some files to this. So one option you can do for uploading files, you can click that plus button, and then you have files upload right there. All right, that takes me right to my downloads. That's just where it went to this time. If not, you should use the tree over here on the left to find it. And I'd say, okay, let me upload the syllabus. Boom. All right, and in a full second, it's uploaded. It now shows up. Right? So that's one way to upload things. Your other option for uploading things is if you just navigate to there in File Explorer on Windows, and we find the syllabus. Here's the schedule. So I can actually drag and drop. And if you notice, there's that blue dotted line going around the outside. That's what you want to see. So when I let go of this, it's going to upload that as well. All right. So really super simple to upload files to OneDrive as long as you're signed in. That's the hardest part about this. All right. Now we said we can also use Word in the web browser. All right. So you can do Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Forms for Excel, Visio drawing. So we have lots of options there. So we can do a Word document. All right, and you will notice that this looks different than other Word documents. All right, notice how the top is different. Let me even end this at the top so you can see it. So notice how this is, it's close, right? You have file, home, insert, layout. Oh, I have draw because I've got a little drawing pen. You know, that's how I've been doing all these nice little circly things. All right. So I have draw in mine, but I also have a design tab, then layout, references, you know, so we got a little bit of extra going on here. Do you need to install Office on your home computer to complete every assignment for this class? No. All right. Does it make your life easier? Yes. All right. Again, when we're doing these simulations for Pearson for the Office section chapters, they are expecting you to have it installed on your computer. So things are different. So when normally you'd be like, oh, I need to go to the Design tab to change the font or whatever. Notice there's no Design tab up here. Right? So can you do it? Probably, all right, but you now need to figure out how to do it, all right? So it is a little bit of a give and take. So I highly suggest installing Word on your computer at home. We'll talk about how to do that in a minute, but it's still just, there is a difference there. So you can do a lot in this one. So like I could very easily do this file management exercise. In fact, let me go ahead and upload that. So file upload, file management, there we go. Thinking. Now I can click on this. And again, this is all happening in my web browser, which is absolutely wonderful. All right. So I could come in here, I could click to text, I could type whatever I need in there. All right. Down here, I'm supposed to put pictures in. All right. So this wants you to, let's just go ahead and do number 6. Open Windows File Explorer, navigate to Documents, change the view to small icons, and take a screenshot. So File Explorer, Documents. I'm going to go View. They wanted small icons, right? And then this says to use the snipping tool, all right? So this snipping tool, super powerful tool, all right? You have the snipping tool, and you also now have snip and sketch, all right? Snip and sketch is supposed to be replacing the snipping tool. I still like the snipping tool. I think it works just fine. All right, but anyway, so here's the snipping tool. We've got some different modes: free form, rectangle, window, full screen. You have a delay option, so like if you want to be able to click on something else, make a menu pop up or something like that, great thing to have. All right, I'm going to leave this on rectangle, and I'm going to say new. And when I do this, you're going to notice the screen kind of goes a little bit gray. Hopefully you guys can see that in the video. And now it allows me to draw a box around this window. And boom, it copies just that portion of the window. You might be used to doing print screenshot on your computer, on your keyboard, and then pasting it into a Word document. This is like print screenshot on steroids because you actually get to pick what it is you do. If you actually do the freeform one and you do new, you can draw like a crazy form, and again, it only captures that crazy form. So kind of a fun little tool. But let's go back to a rectangle. Let's do another new one. Boom, there we go. All right. So then I'm going to save this. And again, I'm just going to save it to, let's go to my download section. Perfect. All right. So now on here, I can do insert. There we go. Insert picture from this device. Capture. I want to give it a better name than capture. All right. Now it does also ask us to make it 5 by 3 roughly. All right. If you notice, I'm at 3.8 by 6.5, so I'll make it 5 wide. All right. And because I have them locked, all right, so whenever I change the one, it changes the other. We're at 2.92 for height. That is perfectly fine. All right. Now, some of you may be like, okay, you do like screenshot the entire screen and then you crop it down to what you need and then you size it, or some of you may put this itty bitty little picture in there. Well, when you save this, it saves it as an itty bitty little picture, and when I open it, I can't then read everything going on there. And for this one, it's not too bad. Like I could probably guesstimate what you're trying to tell me. But for some of these other ones where I'm expecting to be able to read like file names and things like that, I need a bigger picture. So please make sure that you do make them big enough that I can actually see what's going on. So again, roughly 5 inches wide is pretty good. All right. If you go a whole really, really big, then your file size is going to be ginormous. So that is the reason why we don't want just like full page, full screenshots. I just want you to snip what we actually need. Right. So you can use not quite full Office, but you have access to a lot of Office things on here. Right. And then if I exit out of this, it's still right there. I could open it up again. And one of the really crazy things about OneDrive, which I find really neat, is you can share this. So like if I would come up here and share, and I could share it to you guys. So go ahead and copy this link. I'll paste it in the yep, people in it can edit. Cool. So I can paste it in here right now. So it's now in. Oops, I just sent that just to one person. Let me try that again. Here we go. Yeah. So yeah. So I shared that with you guys. If you actually click on that link and you are logged into your HCC email, you'll be able to edit this file at the same time I'm editing it. Right? Some of you may have experienced the pain and suffering of trying to do group projects where you're emailing files back and forth. Oh, I see somebody's in here already. So Kendra is in here. Emailing files back and forth, and you edit something, and then they edit something, and you're trying to merge things, and the documents you're merging aren't actually the same document. Too many things were changed. You guys should be able to click here and edit this file at will right now because I have it set to editing is available. All right. So when you do share files like on OneDrive and things, make sure that you are, if you're sharing things, that it is editable or not editable. That may be important for you. So Kendra just type your name at the top, trying to take credit for my assignment. I see how this is going. Just giving you a hard time. But anyway, it's really neat that you can edit things, and then if you look at my video, you see the editing happening live. So it is a super handy tool for any time you guys are working on group projects, just to have one file that everyone has access to, you're sharing, to allow you to edit things a lot easier. So highly suggest using OneDrive anytime you're doing group projects because it makes the process of combining files and things almost it's not an issue anymore because you're all just editing one file. So highly do suggest that. But anyway, so I just like to show you that whole sharing thing. All right. Now you may be going, well, if I want to share this so they can see it but not edit it, there is a manage access option. So when you do share it, if I hit the gear icon, there is an option down here for just view. All right. So now when I would share this link, only if you would only be able to view it, you wouldn't be able to edit it. Like that's how I share my PDFs for things. You guys don't have access to edit my schedule or my syllabus. All you can do is view it. So it is a little different, but it's still a great tool for you to have. So just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. So, all right. So that's kind of like OneDrive in a nutshell. All right. Any major questions on OneDrive?